Well, this weekend is D23, and Kevin Feige's slate for Marvel Studios for 2025 is on full display. Now, we were all told after Phase 4 this was going to slow down, and 2025 is featuring at least 10 movies and series, raising some alarm bells with fans after Marvel had a stellar 2024 release schedule. But Kevin Feige has spoken directly to this, talked about what's going to be the norm going forward, and how next year's release schedule is definitely a bit special. So let's dive in. Well, like we've been saying, D23 is this weekend, and it's been a big presentation for Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige was on site and has had a lot to say about other Marvel projects, getting into a lot of specifics on Spider-Man, Deadpool and Wolverine, Daredevil, and even Blade. But one of the questions that came up quite a few times was how jam-packed the Marvel 2025 schedule was. As many of you know, during Phase 4 and early Phase 5, Marvel was releasing project after project after project, and it became very clear to many of us that the quality level was diminishing as this output increased. Now, when the writer's strike happened, Marvel Studios really did a great job of regrouping and reassessing what's going on. They decided to focus more over quality over quantity. I think this had a lot with Iger coming back and kicking Chapek to the curb. And now at this point, it seems like Marvel Studios has their focus back, but with the release schedule in 2025 being so big, many of us are worried they could slip backwards a little bit, especially after the successes of this year. Now, at the convention, Kevin Feige did confirm we're going to see more multi-season TV shows and admitted they are extremely busy in 2025. But that this would not, I repeat, not be the norm. Now, at the convention he said, and I quote, "We're going to have more renewals. That starts with Daredevil Born Again. We're really excited to premiere the first season next year, when we'll already be filming the second. It shows that we like the idea of developing shows over multiple seasons. After all, that's one of the most cool things on television. I think I can say that we are back to normal, more or less. In the past, we had 4 films and 4 series a year, and I think we're going to go down to 2 films and 3 series. That won't be the case for 2025 specifically. It turns out that we've been working on these titles for a long time, and they just happen to be ready for release now. We're very excited. But when you set out to make 2 Avengers films, they are colossal, gigantic, and consume you completely. But we have already announced a Spider-Man film that will be released between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Now, Feige did have a lot to say here, and there's a little bit to break down. First and foremost, they're going to be filming Daredevil when the first season drops, meaning next March they're going to be back in front of the cameras, and we're going to be getting clues about Season 2 while we're watching Season 1. I also like the idea of Marvel developing shows over multiple seasons, especially if they have contained storylines. He isn't wrong. This is one of the coolest things about television and allows you to tell some more grounded and unique stories over a longer period of time, and honestly, fans are more patient in television than they are in film. Now, what he had to say about 2025 though I think is very important, and something we've said a couple times on this channel. He said it turns out we've been working on these titles for a long time and they just happen to be ready for release. Quite honestly, this is what's going on with a lot of Marvel projects, specifically animation. In the next year or so, we've actually got What If Season 3, Eyes of Wakanda, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, X-Men 97 Season 2, and of course, Marvel Zombies. All of these things are things Marvel has been working on for years. And I get what Kevin Feige is saying in that 2025 kind of looks a little jam-packed because these titles have been in production for so long. Now they really need to get them out there and kind of over with to move on to the next thing. Now here's the big if. If these shows are really good, and pretty much everything Marvel's dropped this year has been really good, I don't really see it as a problem. I think turning the throttle down this year has fans very ready for more content, but that content has to be good, and as I rewatch Phase 4 and Phase 5, you can kind of see where things start to fall off the rails right around the time we get to Thor Love and Thunder, and then there seems to be some correction as we get into Guardians of the Galaxy and obviously Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel has also realigned their television shows a little bit. I think the first sign of getting this right was reducing Echo down to 5 episodes, but this year we got Echo, X-Men 97, which was absolutely spectacular, and Agatha All Along, which is a huge hit and everybody seems to love. So the idea Marvel can't produce this quality content, well, that's just simply not the case, and I'm starting to wonder, outside of Chapek's demands for so much content to be brought to the streaming platform, maybe one of the big production problems was that worldwide health crisis that basically prevented the creatives from proper collaboration. That collaboration between many great minds is what brings us the best stuff, and I think the worldwide health crisis blocked a lot of that from happening, and now we've kind of left that phase of the world. We're moving forward, and Marvel has their creative team working like a well-oiled machine. Now, I suspect Feige is going to have a lot more to say this weekend at D23. We're going to keep an eye on the convention. We got a couple of new trailers for Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts. We're going to try to break them down in the next couple of days. But until we know more from Marvel, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Kevin Feige's explanation on the very, very full schedule for 2025? And do you think the creative problems that plagued Marvel during Phase 4 and Phase 5 were from the worldwide health crisis or just simply trying to produce too much? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, before you take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for all the updates, and make sure you get every notification because we do daily Marvel and DC content and we don't want you to miss any news.